Let's go! Cool kids step to the front. Cool kids. Too sweet sign for the click.
Bitch, you don't work there.
Feel like I need a shower just looking
Gotta
at
get
you.
right, can't quit. Yeah, I'm up next on the Prince. They ain't been the same ever since. Living pretty
We
well
cut
on
the
the
head
cherry.
off. You're gonna be single for the rest of your life.
Brought LESNAR on the beast.
Look at the heat.
Sleep flex on the
Look at the
beat.
heat.
Whole new swag with a pass on the tag. Coming live from the west to the east. Better recognize on the mouthpiece. See the power level got
I get no bitches.
Bringing content on the daily. Feeling like Gresh unleashed.
Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, non-binary pals, and everybody in between. Welcome back to the Gresh Unleashed podcast for a very, very rare and more than likely last ever Raw after WrestleMania post-show review. And I'm gonna be honest with you, this was a episode of Raw. But for those of you who are new around here, I am the voice that does the most. I am the purveyor of mischief, Gresh, and joining me for probably the last time we ever do this, but he's not going to lead the show, but he is none other than my tag team partner, the voice of the Unleashed Anthem himself. He's none other than Hi-Lite Real. What's up, brother?
Well, I wish I could say more than what we got tonight, but you know how it is, brother. It's great to be with you again, man. We back at it.
I don't know who got coerced into doing this.
Yeah,
but we probably gonna do this shit again.
yeah. Facts though. Big facts. Big facts. Man, you talking about gypped. Oh my lord. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say gypped, y'all? I mean, after y'all got Whoopi Goldberg for that word the other day, I'm just trying to make sure I don't get, I ain't know that was offensive these days. I'm like, dang.
I don't know what's offensive these days no more. I just say whatever I say, and then if you get offended, that's your business.
Legit. That's all we can do. Because after a while, I'm like that one person said, I'm gonna run out of words. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Oh man. My Twitter is blowing up because for those of you who don't know, after sitting through 3 hours of Monday Night Raw, I blocked Triple H, Vince McMahon, and Sesame Street got caught in the crossfire. So now everybody trying to figure out why the hell did I block Sesame Street? Like, what did Big Bird and them do? I don't know. They got caught in the crossfire. That's my bad.
What can you do? Oh my God.
So, oh my God, but like I said, tonight's Raw. It was Raw after WrestleMania. Everybody hyped. We was still riding the high over WrestleMania. Night one killed it. Night two, it was up and down. Mm-hmm. And then you was like, okay, I'm interested in Raw. What they gonna do? Like, what they gonna do? Something interesting? They're gonna do something intriguing? I'll be honest with you. Nothing happened. It was literally business as usual. It was legitimately business. Ken said, "What the hell Elmo do to you?" Listen. It was either Sesame Street or PBS Kids in general. It was one of them. Somebody's gonna get blocked. Somebody's gonna get that third block. I was determined to block 3 people. I was gonna block somebody. I'm like, oh, Sesame Street. It was gonna either be PBS Kids, Sesame Street, Arthur, or Big Bird. Somebody's gonna get that block. It was gonna get that. I can't block Brock because I already know he don't get on Twitter. So it's like, what's the point? But nah, it was a joke. Like, it was a joke. Like, if people, I don't know why. I'm like, I just posted. I'm like, man, forget this. But you want to know how I feel after watching Raw? I feel like Brock. Brock legit flipped the bird at the end of the show.
I was like, look at Brock pulling a Stone Cold Steve Austin. I see you, country boy.
They had to zoom in real quick. They was like, oh shit, because I think he was taking liberties. But that's how I feel about watching Raw. Like,
I mean, yeah. I mean, he pretty much signified in the biggest way possible what we all felt deep inside this whole 3 hours. Like, bump this.
Like, I'm not gonna like. Also, for those of you who are just now tapping in, we are also going to be talking about the WWE selling to Endeavor. We're probably going to spend more time on that than we do Raw, because when I tell you Raw, nothing happened. Nothing really happened. And that's all I can tell you. Nothing remotely happened. So much so WWE didn't even update the .com with the results. It's like everything. It felt like everything was just on the fly. It's like as soon as they announced this sale, everything was just happening. Like I literally put out a tweet. I said watching today's Raw was literally like watching a CW show. Everything's just happening. I know I used that joke last night, but this is legit how I felt. Well, I'm like, what is happening? Like, I'm not like people assume that I'm angry. Like you can interpret my tweets how you want. I was literally just confused. I was like, so what is going on here? What are we doing here?
Absolutely nothing.
Like there was nothing happening. Like nothing happened. The only thing I liked about it, I asked you what you liked about it. I like Brock attacking Cody Rhodes because that gives Cody that adversity that he has to go through.
Yeah. No better adversity than Brock, that's for sure.
And but the only way I would crap on that is if WWE has Brock beat Cody, then I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here?
No, you're right. Like he has to be a guy like Brock if they go that route. And then I was kind of hoping, I mean, we're going to see what happens in time, but at some point you got to get Rhodes to, when you get back to Roman, you got to get through Solo first too, I would hope.
So, like give him some legit adversity because it's like that. Also, I like the Street Profits versus KO and Sami Zayn. Like that was a fun match. Tez kept hitting the taunt button. What was all that with Brock Lesnar at the end? Why the fingers? Did he quit? Nah, he was just being Brock. Brock was literally being Brock.
True. You know, I can see why you would think that, bro. Because I mean, last time he did do a double flick off like that. I mean, you know, I go back to WrestleMania 20 when he was like, bump this. Him and Goldberg both were like, yeah, we out.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Hey girl, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Oh man, facts though.
Like yeah, like ain't nothing happened for real. But I did like both of my wifey Liv and EO showing up. That's what I'm saying. Nothing happened. Like yeah, ooh, Liv and EO showed up. Cool. Rhea and Bianca had a face off. Cool. Is Rhea going to be on SmackDown now because she's SmackDown Women's Champion? Are they going to merge the titles? It was like nothing was answered.
Yeah, they didn't even tell. They were just like, we're supposed to figure that out. Like, see y'all merging the titles or what we doing? Like, what was the point of that? I don't even know. You know
what I'm saying? Like nothing happened, and I'm like,
no draft announcement. No.
Speaking of announcements, we might as well just talk about the start. Triple H opened up the show talking about an announcement. He's like, he opened the show. He's like, I'm kicking off the show. I'm guessing as a thank you to Hollywood. And I thought this man was praying for a second. Because he stood in this position for like 20 minutes. He was like an evangelist, if you will.
Evangelist Triple H. Huh.
But he did his whole entrance and everything. And I'm like, all right. Triple H basically thanked everybody for making this a success, and he basically alluded to the WWE sale without saying it out loud. He's like, "We're not going anywhere," and I'm like, "Well, no shit. You're WWE. Y'all not going nowhere." So I'm like, "Okay." So he's like, "Oh, so now you acknowledge here's Roman Reigns." I'm like, "Huh? Okay." And Roman came out cocky as ever. Just like, yeah, acknowledge me.
With no bloodline shirt that most people have been pointing out all day tonight.
Yeah, he debuted that after Sammy turned. So he debuted that after Rumble. So he's had that for a minute. But I get what you're saying. They're basically about to set up Roman firing the Usos for losing.
For real. I'm like, uh-oh. That ain't good.
And then obviously Cody Rhodes came out to challenge Roman to a rematch. Nice little decent pop from the crowd. Other than that, I'm like, oh, okay, so what are we gonna do? He's like, oh, I want a rematch. Paul was like, not gonna happen. The only way you're gonna get a rematch is if you team up with somebody to face Roman and Solo in the main event. If our team wins, you can never challenge for the title ever again. But if your team wins, you get a rematch. And then out came Cowboy Brock. And I'm like, huh? What? What are we doing here? Like, and then we got I basically got a tag team announcement. It was gonna be Cowboy Brock versus Cody Rhodes. Oh, and Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa and Roman Reigns. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then after this segment, like if I can tell you this right now, if you turn Raw off at 8:30, because I had Derek text me like, I'm gonna watch Raw. And nigga tapped out at 15 minutes. He said he pulled a Brock. He pulled a Brock. He said, fuck this shit, I'm out. And Swella, I said, this isn't mandatory to pop up, but if you do, let me know. She said, nigga, I was asleep at 8:02. She went straight to sleep. She's like, I'm good. If it's like the entire atmosphere for this show was just off.
Flat. Straight up
and I understand a lot of people. I know the people's go-to is to like blame Vince, because when we get to the WWE sales stuff, I believe he's going to be involved in creative. That's what they alluded to. And I'm like, are we ready to accept the fact that we can start blaming Triple H now if a show sucks? Because he's been in creative since July. It's April. Like, I'm not saying everything was bad, but you can admit that Triple H is not perfect. Because I ain't gonna lie to you, some NXT is not, when he was in charge, was not that perfect. We're not gonna forget a lot of stuff that went on with that. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, when are we gonna be able to just say, you know what, Triple H isn't perfect. I don't know, like some of this stuff ain't gonna fly as much. It's completely okay, because that's all I was seeing down my timeline. Like, well, Vince is in charge. Vince is back in charge. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure if Triple H is still the final say, we can blame him too. If something so, this was not it. This entire show was just it had some highs and then it had some lows. What else happened on this show? That's what I'm saying. A lot of shit happened, and I could not process 95% of it.
Are we going chronological order or just whatever we felt like?
Whatever.
As I mentioned, given backlashes in Puerto Rico, here comes the Bad Bunny effect. And, well, only got chokeslammed through an announcer's table by Damian Priest, his former best friend, if you will. So, yeah, there was that. No, they didn't make sense. I totally agree.
The matches didn't make sense. Jessica said the matches didn't make sense. Nope, they did not. It was just stuff was just happening.
Just happening.
Like,
if they merge the women's titles, make a mid-card title, I'm cool with that. But the problem is the tag team titles aren't even really getting much.
They got to get rid of the tag team titles.
Yeah, because I'd rather you get rid of them to make the mid-card title, because shoot. You know what I mean, bro? Like, I don't know. What can we do? And the sad part is, even with a mid-card title, y'all, you still need good storytelling with the women. They need a lot.
That's the problem. People keep asking for titles. You keep asking for props. But if there's no depth behind said prop, why should we as a viewer, consumer, give a shit? If the bookers don't give a shit. That's all I'm saying. I'm like, yes, do I think the women should have more titles? Yes, if the story is there. Don't just have a title just to have a title. That's been my minor gripe with a lot of AEW's titles, because a lot of those titles are just there.
There.
So it's like, give like stuff like that. That's all I'm saying. Like, if you're gonna introduce mid-card titles for the women, make it make sense. Because I believe it was reported somewhere that this was originally supposed to be two triple threat matches where the winner becomes the #1 contender for the Raw Women's title. So that's what I'm saying. This entire show was just rewritten on the fly.
Which is a very Vince move.
It's a very Vince move. But at the same time, it's like, if this is the norm.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's very hard to call how to feel about this given the announcement of the sale, because you're like, how much of this is you guys trying to do like what we just said about Mania, giving our thoughts of the presentation and the vibe with the celebrities, the vibe of the stage, the look, the feel. And we're like, man, this looks like something you would prep up for a potential sale. Next thing you know, in the night two, right around the time me and Gresh go to sleep, we wake up, oh, surprise, we're officially sold to Endeavor. And you're like, huh? And then you're like, next thing you know, you're like, well, okay. And then you see this Raw, and you're like, so y'all
this is
got
it?
y'all money, y'all got y'all bag, and that's that. What does this mean? What
And-
are we?
And then the first thing we saw was this. I'm almost sapient like the next person, but we really back to him in squash matches. So we back to square one again with
Mhm.
Omos. That was my gripe because I was praising his match with Braun Strowman in Saudi
Mhm.
because it was a fun match, and then they were back to squash matches.
Mhm.
He went away for a minute, and then Brock said, "Fuck the supernatural shit with Bray Wyatt. I want Omos." Cool. The match was short. It was fun. I praised it last night, but then we're back to him in squash matches.
Crazy, bro.
What are we doing here?
It's like y'all don't want to do anything but pair him with another big guy to then lose and then go back to this squash match stuff. That only works for so much. We're not going to care.
Listen, and this is for the people who will probably say, "Oh, but if they listen," I literally go on record every time I get a chance to, and I say, AEW needs to do something more with Jade Cargill instead of squash matches to build up her streak.
Mhm.
AEW needs to do stuff, do more stuff than have at one point having Powerhouse Hobbs doing squash matches on Dark. WWE needs to do something with Omos, put him in a faction or something, reunite the Hurt Business or something, or just keep it, or just stop. Just keep him as a special attraction.
Mhm.
If you just want to, because you want to take advantage of the giant, but it's hard to care if it's just a squash match again. I'm like, because this is coming. I'm a storyteller. I love stories.
Mhm.
That's all I'm saying. Like, it's what else happened on this show?
Ooh.
We just skimming through, like literally for those of you who are tuning in for a full length Raw review, you're not getting it. We're literally just talking about what we talked about on this show. Seth Rollins for some reason was backstage cutting the interview, and then he came out for his entrance, crowd singing, oh, you know.
Mhm.
They went to commercial break, came back, crowd was still singing, and Seth just left. That's the whole segment.
no feud,
No feud,
no
no
surprise,
promo,
no
no
promo, no nothing.
surprise. He's just sitting there in the crowd singing. They try to write off and say, "Oh, this is his victory celebration," and I'm just standing there like, I'm just sitting here on my chair like,
And it leads me to wonder. Clearly, WWE hasn't worked anything out with Logan Paul because his name wasn't even mentioned at all from Seth. So it was like, okay,
Seth pulled a Lacey Evans. Literally. Remember when Lacey Evans was
yes,
first caught up on Raw on main roster and she was walking out, did her entrance, and walked right back? That
yeah,
literally was this.
good call, Ken. Yeah, that's basically what happened in a sense. Yeah, like what the freak, bro? You could have just gave him the night off. I mean, I don't.
You literally could just did what you did, because the thing is they showed the promo package of his match.
Mhm.
You
Oh,
could just
and
did that.
shout out to the camera showing Ice Cube's son out there, doing the chants with the crowd for whatever reason. So yeah,
Oh yeah, that was O'Shea. I was
yeah,
like, why y'all keep putting it? I'm like, all right,
yeah,
we're in Hollywood still.
yeah.
They said Seth, this dude on Twitter said Seth dressed like Ron Isley. Because his attire had faces on it.
Yeah, basically, that's what he was going for, I guess.
Like if anybody follow me on Twitter, you literally the entire night I was tweeting. That's it. I'm pretty sure Twitter was like, you already. I'm surprised Twitter didn't say you already tweeted that. I'm like, well, that's all I got. I usually have jokes. I ain't had nothing.
Nothing.
And then they teased Bobby Lashley versus Bronson Reed. I'm like, okay, I'm interested in that.
We'll see how that goes.
And then they had Ali interrupt Bobby, and I'm like, oh no. I saw Bobby dressed to compete. Then I looked at Ali. I'm like, oh no.
Pretty much.
And then soon as Ali did his positivity shtick, Bobby just yeeted his ass all over the place again. And I'm like, bro, again? You're getting your ass beat again?
Again?
And what?
It's like, how many times do we have to witness that? I don't know. Just that's an every week thing for him at this point.
He's getting his ass. Didn't he get his ass beat last week by Seth?
Pretty much. Like,
so I was like, why is this happening? Oh yeah, Belair was out there. It's minus Coco. That was an L right there, but she probably had something better to do, and I don't blame her.
Now,
because this show was scared of bitches. Just saying.
When you say Coco, are we talking about
Coco Jones?
She was with Bianca?
No, she's the TV show Belair.
Oh, okay. When they had the Belair cast out there, okay, yeah. Yeah. She probably was like, "Yeah, nah, bump that. That ain't my type."
She's like, "Yeah, I got that. Yeah, I got that."
I really feel bad for that cast because I'm like, I mean, the camera hyped y'all. Y'all look like y'all was hyped to be there, but come on, man, y'all can't tell me y'all was enjoying that.
Oh, I'm pretty sure they didn't say that the whole time. I'm pretty sure as soon as they got off the camera, they said, "Yeah, we done." I'm going home.
There's no way.
Because it's Peacock, and you like, oh, we just completed our contractual obligation. We're done.
Yeah.
Next up, what else? After that, everybody started tweeting, "What the hell was that?" That's what I'm saying. That's all we got.
We did get one return.
We'll get to that, but this is what I said after that Bobby Lashley segment. I said, a guy like me would start an indie company and start contract tampering with Bobby Lashley's contract. I will pay him $1 million just to be my champion. That's how I was just. It's like it was at this point after the Bobby Lashley Ali segment. I just started tweeting random shit.
Oh my gosh! I mean, yeah, you at this point, yeah.
Yes, she is.
She is.
Coco is a nice chocolate.
We were robbed multiple times of not even being able to see an ounce of that on Raw, but hey.
Bianca came out for a promo. That's all I got.
That's all I got too, man. Always a pleasure to see Bianca on my screen. But again,
Ripley came out and they basically teased a future match. I'm like, Survivor Series is like in November.
Mm-hmm.
We're running that back. The champion versus champion brand supremacy crap. We're doing that again.
Oh Lord. Yep. This ain't looking good, dog. This ain't looking good, dog.
I'm like, all right. What else happened on this show? I'm literally going based off of my tweets. That's how little notes I took of this show. All right. People still trying to figure out why Seth Rollins came out there and did nothing. Don't give yourself a heart attack. They had a beach ball during the women's tag team match.
The return of the beach ball.
And then shout out BD. He said there was, because he was there at the show. He said there was a beach ball in the crowd, and the security guard popped it and told the crowd to suck it, and then walked off.
What? Yo, securities are so savage. What the freak? Oh man, that sounds like a Josh move right there.
It is. That's why I said good. Oh, and this is when people started trying to tell me, "Oh, we need to get him. We need to start." Like, I'm sus of Vince's involvement right now. I'm like, bro, we just need to start blaming Paul. Let's, because Triple H has literally learned from that man. We're not gonna act like Triple H didn't just spent years learning from that man. Come on now.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And then we got the main event, or sort of main event. That's literally the show. Nothing happened on this show.
Well,
The Miz came out, and we got the return of Matt Riddle
and Speedos.
Yeah, Matt Riddle's back.
No Randy. Sorry, guys. No Randy. You just got Riddle. The crowd popped.
Did they?
Had a lot of bros. From what I heard, they popped pretty nicely for it. They chanted "bro" a lot, and that was just it.
Oh, unless Kevin Dunn piped in the bro chants. Who knows?
They had a lot of hand movement, so it looked
okay. So no, I'm literally. As soon as I saw him, I just looked down. I literally blacked out for the rest of the show.
I don't.
No, he didn't have the grills in his mouth, so I blacked out for the rest of the show. I'm not even gonna hold you.
I mean, I don't blame you. Like that, out of anybody returning, nobody, and I mean nobody, called for Riddle. Not one. I heard Orton. I heard Jay White. I heard.
See, now that's the thing. Who said Jay White was coming?
I don't know. I'm just throwing out names that.
I'm talking about, like, that's a genuine question too. Like, who told the world that Jay White was going to appear? Like, this is how I looked when people say, "Oh, Jay White's coming." I'm like, okay.
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, people have been saying this man was coming since the Royal Rumble. At this point, if you ain't see it today, and you ain't see it over the weekend, and you ain't see it at the Rumble, get rid of it. Just get rid of the thought of Jay. I don't want to hear Jay White's name ever again at this point. Okay, treat it like CM Punk. Y'all remember them times y'all used to be like, "Oh man, CM Punk. What if he shows back up? Hey, CM Punk. What if he comes back?" And you never got it. Oh man, they're gonna be in Chicago. No.
Congrats. Oh, we skimmed over Austin Theory challenging Rey Mysterio. Did you care about that?
God, Lee. He really is going on a legend killer thing, isn't he? Oh my God.
I guess so.
What the freak, bro? That's the thing now. I guess they're just gonna have him go after these legends.
It was a good match. I'm saying the matches were good. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It was just weird. Like, the whole show was just all over the place. Nothing synced, if that makes sense. It's just like they just said, okay, we had to produce SmackDown, the Hall of Fame, NXT Stand and Deliver, night 1 and 2 of WrestleMania. Let's just go to Raw and just get it out the way. That's literally what this entire show felt like. It was just like, yeah, we don't know.
You know what I mean? So just hitting randomize just made everything just go.
That's what I'm saying. Everything was good. If nothing just synced though.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was just coming out of nowhere. That was my thing. Like, I'm not saying everything was bad. Mm-hmm. It's just everything didn't make sense. It was average Raw after WrestleMania. Which is we haven't had surprises. Let's not get on here and pretend that we didn't have, like, we've been having surprises every year. We haven't had surprises on Raw after Mania, in my opinion, since like 2015.
Yeah. Like last prime years of NXT Black and Gold, somewhere around that time.
So it's been a minute. So like, if people went into this show expecting like 100% surprises, sorry to disappoint. I went in this show thinking they was going to follow up, like either or restart some things or introduce some new things. Yeah, we got Cody and Brock. I'm guessing they're teasing Rhea Ripley and Raquel or Liv, because now Rhea Ripley's on SmackDown. Mm-hmm. Damage Control is still a thing.
For whatever
Bayley wasn't there though.
No Bayley, yeah. That's I'm like, no Becky, no Bayley, no.
And they lost, so now it's going to be Raquel and Liv versus Becky and Lita next week. And then what else was announced? Oh, The Miz and Elias.
Oh God.
No, not Miz and Elias. Miz and Riddle. Miz and Riddle. They're gonna after that attack, so it's gonna be Miz and Riddle. And poor Elias, they fed him again to Omos, and I'm like, bro.
Yeah, they what the heck, bro? That's all I can really say. I'm just like,
and it's like I hate that whole notion where people like, oh, you shouldn't go into these shows. What do you expect? Like, I'm like, bro, if you're a wrestling fan, and I mean a real wrestling fan, you want to be surprised.
mm-hmm.
Why do you think a lot of people those first 2 years of AEW, even though they still have some surprises now, but those first 2 years of AEW had people's attention hooked because they knew something was going to happen that you did not expect.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you look forward to when you're watching wrestling. This
Mm-hmm.
show was just autopilot. It was just whatever. And it's like, you didn't get no call ups. You didn't get no like, and I understand people like, but why does why does everything have to be predictable? Sometimes good predictability isn't a bad thing. If there's a call up, like if you feel like somebody's ready, like Roxanne Perez lost her title, that would have been a nice call up.
Mm-hmm.
Braun Breaker lost his title, that would have been a nice call up to either at WrestleMania or at the main, or even go to SmackDown. Like we still got SmackDown. Like if this week doesn't have any amount of call ups, I'm just going on autopilot until something big happens.
Pretty much. I mean, like I have to sum that up right there with you, bro. Because I mean, shoot. I mean, again, it's hard to call everything with this cell because you're like, all right, are we gonna get a draft of some sort? Because we need something right now. At least give a brother a draft announcement where you can shake stuff up because it needs a bad shake up, bro. Like mixture of some call ups, send some people down to NXT, bring some people up from NXT, bring in some free agents if you can. I don't know, whatever. Like
people saying this felt like a Vince type show, but since when has Triple H ever cared about Raw? I mean, he had a few solid shows
back in September.
Like on the road to Clash at the Castle, Survivor Series as well. So that's what I'm saying. He's had good shows. It's okay to say that this is Triple H. He was just on autopilot. Like we don't have to always go by the default. Oh, this is Vince. I'm not defending Vince. I don't care about the Addams family, whatever he got going on his face. I don't really care about that remake. But I'm just saying, like it's okay to say Triple H gave us an asinine show. It is what it is. Like we're not finna harp too much on it, but it was just like outside of Brock and Cody, Street Profits versus KO and Sammy, and also it was nice to see a nice positive. It was nice to see them with the tag titles too. So that was a nice positive.
Now that's another thing. I have a gripe with the whole doing the Street Profits thing now and having them lose cleanly. Like
because they just did that WrestleMania showcase.
Yeah, I was expecting some type of like F finish or something. Like, even though the Usos, which I guess is another thing because they got sent home, you know what I mean? But like, okay, he sent the Usos home. Like, could get some kind of F finish or something where you're like, all right, this is a no contest, you know, but it was a good match between the two where they'll meet again down the line or something. But it's just like, okay, to lose cleanly, now what? Because who else is going to contend for those titles? It's like, if they just beat the Profits, what now? I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. They did not think that long term.
Yeah.
I think Triple H didn't draw up the book yet for the shows coming up. He was still playing with what Vince left behind back in August. Sure. We can go with that. Sure. But if nothing changes on SmackDown or Raw, yeah, autopilot. Like I'll watch just to get the jokes off. But if I ever fall asleep on the show, I'm gonna tell you. But yeah, we're obviously going to get Brock and Cody at some point. Probably Backlash since it's in Puerto Rico. And it leads you to the question like, what is next for Roman? Like, is he going to take Puerto? Is he not? Oh, I think he's probably not going to be in Puerto Rico. So you're probably not going to get a Universal title match in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, probably not. If anything, I wouldn't be surprised if he has that whole pay-per-view off.
Yeah. So, but yep, Brock said, "Fuck this shit, I'm out." And you want to talk about some news that broke this morning?
Let's do it, brother. There's nothing else really relevant.
WWE is now has been sold to Endeavor, and they will merge with UFC going forward. What's your thoughts on this, real quick?
Feels like a major crossover kind of thing in the future, for sure. Meaning that I would assume, let's say UFC has one of their biggest. They don't really have like WrestleMania level type stuff. They just have big fight feel events where, I mean, it kind of fits. It makes sense because if you think about it over the years, when UFC had matches, you'd see some WWE superstars out there in the crowd coming to watch a fight. UFC fighters have always managed to come to WWE, whether they were in the crowd or a part of a storyline of some sort. So I think this is a good little situation to find out what's going to happen. Now, of course, these companies may be under the same umbrella, but it doesn't mean that, you know, their talents and stuff are all in one thing. So we'll see how it plays out.
So according to the official release that was released by Endeavor Group Holding Incorporated and World Wrestling Entertainment Incorporated today announced that they have signed a definitive agreement to form a new publicly listed company consisting of two iconic complementary global sports and entertainment brands, UFC and WWE. Upon close, Endeavor will hold a 51% controlling interest in the new company, and existing WWE shareholders will hold a 49% interest in the new company. Together, the UFC and WWE will have global reach, impressive scale, and omni-channel distribution on a combined 2022 fiscal year-end basis. UFC and WWE achieved revenue of $2.4 billion and a 10% annual revenue growth since 2019. And with this announcement, we saw the official reappearance publicly of the one and only El Chapo himself, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, because he came out looking like, I don't know what was going on with that look that he was rocking. It was definitely a choice. It was a choice. Like, what is this, bro? Why is it like an upside down Nike logo?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So we're seeing El Chapo back in front of all this. I don't know, man.
Zorro wants his look back. Good Lord.
Do you think this is a good thing, or you think it's going to be something that's just going to make you lose you lose interest even more?
It's kind of hard to call. I mean, again, going back to today, I mean tonight, like because this was official earlier, that might have been another reason, like you said, with Autopilot, when you think about producing all these shows, given all that press that we just saw Vince doing and them today, maybe they're so focused on trying to see what all they're gonna do for this merger. Raw just wasn't a priority tonight now because of this news, you know. So like, God, we just have to let time tell at this point. It's just like AEW when they first started out, y'all.
You got to see what they're gonna do. Like, is it gonna be like abysmal, or is it gonna be such a way? Because Vince McMahon obviously released. He said, given the incredible work that Ari and Endeavor have done to grow the UFC brand, nearly doubling its revenue over the past 7 years, and the immense success we've already had in partnering with their team on a number of ventures, I believe that this is without a doubt the best outcome for our shareholders and other stakeholders, McMahon said. Together, we will be a 21 plus billion live sports entertainment powerhouse with a collective fan base of more than 1 billion people and an exciting growth opportunity. The new company will be well positioned to maximize the value of our combined media rights, enhance sports sponsorship monetization, develop new forms of content, and pursue other strategic mergers and acquisitions to further bolster our strong stable of brands. I, along with the current WWE management team, look forward to working closely with Ari and the Endeavor and UFC teams to take the businesses to the next level. Basically, they finna get more money.
More money, more money.
And the funny thing is, all this news broke when I was asleep. So as soon as I woke up, I was like, oh, shit always happens when I go to sleep. Shit always happens. So Nick Khan, they did all the who called him J. Jonah Jameson? Was it Gresh? No, surprisingly, I didn't call him J. Jonah Jameson. I think that was it was somebody I'm following. I probably retweeted it. So, but Nick Khan on WWE and UFC TV streaming plan, post merger layoffs, Saudi relationship, and more. So basically, Nick Khan made the rounds. For those of you who don't know who Nick Khan is, he is the current WWE CEO. He was answering questions about the future going with the company. The most pressing matter is WWE's television rights for Raw and SmackDown, which expire next year. And in pre-sale interviews, Khan said WWE will start the renegotiation process with current rights holders, NBC, Universal, and Fox during the just complicated WrestleMania weekend. Based on what he told Axios, the guy who he was interviewing, based on what he told him, that plan remains intact. UFC and WWE will pursue separate linear TV deals, and NBC and Fox will have an opportunity to ensure the rights to Raw and SmackDown don't hit the open market. NBC is also WWE's streaming partner with content currently on NBC's Peacock streaming service. For those of you who don't know, the contract expires in 2026. UFC has a deal with Disney-owned ESPN Plus for streaming, which is up in 2025. He didn't rule out bundling the wrestling and MMA streaming rights, but indicated Peacock will have a chance to remain the home of the WWE network. So he basically said this: the most important thing is that NBC and Fox, from a WWE point of view, feel respected in the process. So we're going to enter those conversations with them. Hopefully it's robust and we don't get out of the right of first window, and we strike a deal with each of them. Okay. If we're not able to do that, we'll see what the marketplace has to say and ultimately choose the right partner for the WWE audience and our shareholders. The good folks at NBCU have been tremendous partners to us. So let's see what they have to say. So basically, this was the subject of WWE premium live events or pay-per-view to return to the original pay-per-view model, which is basically take it off of Peacock and hide it behind a paywall, or basically go to $60 route. And
Jesus,
do you think that would be a smart business decision to go back after we've been with this subscription service pay-per-view for the past decade? Because I believe it'll be 10 years next year, 2024.
Well, it's tough to call, right? Because if you look at AEW, clearly,
but the thing is with theirs is they're only doing 4 pay-per-views. WWE is doing 12.
Now that's true. However, if it's one thing we know, we only gonna pay for what we actually care about. If we don't care about it, we ain't paying for it. So true. if they actually build, let's say they actually do make 12 pay-per-views actually build worthy enough for us to care, like start to finish, niggas would actually probably come out of pocket because they're gonna want to see that. But if you don't care enough, if it's one of those like, I may care for a couple matches, but I don't really care about this show overall to really want to pay $50-$60, you're not going to pay it. You're just going to find a way to stream it, or you're going to do like what we probably would do, is just chip in with a couple friends or catch a local theater that's probably showing it and just pay $25.
Do a pay-per-view party.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because I already know they ain't finna do no stream, no theater or anything. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, But the reason why I brought that up is because I feel like in today's social digestive society, they want everything easily accessible. Like that means you have to convince people to still pay for it. If they keep the library on Peacock and hide the new pay-per-views behind a paywall, with it eventually making its way to Peacock, you have to convince your viewers to stick with $10 a month plus come out of pocket with 60 plus. Especially
in today's economy. Let's keep it real.
During this inflation? Shit.
Do you really think if you sitting here like, bro, you got to think about your food, your gas. You know what I'm saying? Like every other thing, responsibility wise, you got to take care of. On top of paying $50, $60 for a pay per view, plus, like he said, the $10 for your Peacock. Nah, man, that adds up.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like you have to like I'll keep it a buck. I ain't paid for Supercard of Honor because I'm tight because I paid all my bills. I gotta wait till I get paid again. So I'm not like that's what I'm saying. You're gonna have that situation, especially in this inflation. Like it's literally rough out here in these streets. That's why I'm like, okay, I can stick with Peacock because I think Peacock for me, Peacock Plus is like $5, $6, or
Yeah.
$10, $10 a month, something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I can do that. Same thing with with Honor Club. I can subscribe to that because like $6, $7, $8. But you expect me to come out of pocket for a pay per view for like for twice that or 3 times that? Yeah, you like they will literally have to book all their big names on every single pay per view. Every single pay per view. If you want our thoughts on WrestleMania, you can go ahead and check out our post show for both night 1 and night 2. We gave both of them high rating shows. We basically said night 1 was better than night 2. We had a nice panel on night 2, so make sure you guys tap into that. It is available while you also scanning that QR code, and you can follow us wherever you listen to your podcast. But yeah, Peacock is $5 for me. That's what I'm saying. Like $5, $6, $10, and you want us to jump up to the $60.
Yeah,
you're asking too much.
They really are, and I mean, I understand it. It's just, I mean, again, like you said, because also look at the era difference, man. Like back when WWE was doing those type of pay per views at the $50, $60, like we talking about mid 2000s.
Yeah, all the way into 2003, 2013. Because wasn't it still pay per views in 2013? Because the network became a thing in 2014 for WrestleMania.
Yeah, and see, like, yeah, that was such a different era back then, man. Like we talking about economy was a lot easier back then. Sorta, yeah, like sorta compared to now.
Yeah,
that economy,
now, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Things were way cheaper back then, and it's just like I don't know, bro. Like that's not something that's smart to do right now. Now, Raj Giri, from what I heard, mentioned something about the Peacock deal doesn't expire for another couple of years.
2026. That's what I briefly mentioned.
Yeah, so like we still have some time before they even think about eliminating this aspect, apparently. But it's like still with how fast a year flies, you blink and you're gonna be like, shoot, am I really finna do this or not? Like, and the product gonna let us know if we even want to. Because look how today went, bro. Like, if this is any bit of what the rest of this year gonna be like,
I'm gonna keep my 60.
100, bro. Like 100. Cause nah, man. Nah.
Like I'm gonna keep my 60 because we not like that's what I'm saying. It's like you have to convince us, and tonight was not it. And you can, like I said, you can write it off. Like if you listen to us earlier, you can write it off as them basically going on autopilot because they literally had to produce a whole weekend of content. This is basically another situation where it's just like, okay, they need to really get rid of that third hour.
Which really also was a money thing.
Which isn't probably going to happen either. But it's saying that third hour is always dreadful because it's like it's so long. And if nothing's going to happen, nothing happens.
Now, their TV deal's expiring soon, Nick Khan said, right?
Next year, 2025.
So that means if Triple H wants to, if he's with him still being like over creative control now, this is where Vince comes in on if he has any kind of still pull or whatever. I feel like it's going to be a fight, but they can, I guess, renegotiate that. But I don't know, man. I feel like because I heard something about also that third hour makes a lot of money for him or something. I don't know.
It does.
Yeah, so it's weird, bro. Like I don't even know at this point Yeah. Go back to Raw being 3 hours for those special occasions, an anniversary show or something. I don't know. Go back to. I don't know, bro. They're doing too much money wise, man. I get it. I don't know. What do you do? What do you do, man?
Yeah, we're only assuming. I know a lot of people aren't really fans because Vince McMahon obviously during the announcement addressed everything going that basically what made him go, oh my god, this look, bro. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, does not fit at all.
Jesus Christ, bro.
Get rid of it.
Dude got Botox because his neck is already like a turkey.
Mm-hmm.
Then he got a lopsided mustache looking like a Nike check. And he dyed his eyebrows. Like, bro, you not young no more.
At all. At all, my ninja. Like, what made you think that was okay? I have no idea. Jesus Christ.
But he obviously addressed because remember back in June 15, 2022, the Wall Street Journal reported that the WWE board had launched an investigation into Vince McMahon over alleged sexual misconduct and hush money. And he retired, and I use that as air quotes, in July 22nd, 2022. Mm-hmm. But he returned to the board of directors in January 2023 to help lead a potential sale of the company, which was reached. On April 3rd, they made it confirm. And then speaking on the Squawk in the Box, these podcast names are weird. The Squawk in the Box, the allegations were mentioned as McMahon was asked about his legacy because he's a legendary figure in the world of sports entertainment / professional wrestling. I've made mistakes, obviously, personally and professionally through my 50-year career. I've owned up to every single one of them and then moved on. I'm not sure of the legacy stuff. I'm not going to write it. I don't know. I want to say, as someone who had an extraordinary amount of fun, great passion for what they did, and wound up with the biggest deal he's ever done in his life. The man said as he pointed to Endeavor CEO Ari Emanuel, who was sitting next to him. Ari said that the only person who should control his legacy is McMahon. Mm-hmm. Vince said absolutely when asked if WWE would have sold if the scandal didn't happen. He said it makes sense. Nothing has ever happened like this before. I'm always looking what's best for our stockholders and our company. This is the best thing that has happened in a long time. All the WrestleManias combined doesn't equal to the magnitude we will do together. Then they went on to do that and credit to Fightful Select for the transcription of what this is. But do you call bullshit, or do you as far as like with Vince talking about, oh, this would have happened if the scandal didn't happen?
Yeah, definite BS, bro. Like definite BS. Come on,
like
stop
damn it. Stop. Please
stop.
Stop the nah.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap. No bullshit, bro.
Nah. It would not have happened if that man. None of this would have been happening if that scandal didn't pop out. Triple H wouldn't have been charging no creative, no sale would have happened, bro. We would have still been wondering what the heck is going on with these shows.
Bored out of our mind. Looking at, folks would have been clamoring for their releases. Speaking of which, there's something, I guess, if you care enough, but apparently the grizzled veterans have requested and got their release granted. So they are
GYV. Oh, I mean, they was in the schism.
Yeah. So apparently, as of right now, it looks like the schism went from 4 roots to 2 roots. Yeah. Should be interesting to see how that turns out. What they ever decide to do with that, because I mean, they literally just had a pre-show match. So like.
And they lost.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I've never really too much cared for those guys because I've always looked at them as like a low budget FTR in a sense. And for real, like I get it. You going for that? Like, oh no, we're like, we're not the fancy flip types or whatever. But like, I don't know. Maybe they can prove me wrong if they go wherever they go, because I'm like, if y'all go to AEW, y'all just gonna get lost in the shuffle. I can already tell that.
Literally.
So, I mean, you can go to Impact. I'm sure you can definitely do some stuff over there. I mean, they got plenty of tag teams too, but probably make some noise for yourself over there. But AEW, nah, player, go over there. Y'all gonna be way lost. So, best of luck to them wherever they decide to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, nah, man. Just thought I'd address that.
I mean, yeah. I mean, they haven't really been doing anything since they were rebranded. Like they was in the schism, but it's like I can't really clamor and tell you off the top of my head like some of the best work that they've done. I'm like they were literally just mutes for a minute, and then they started talking, and then they changed they probably was just like, okay, you know what, I feel like we can do more, and that's what they did. So it's like can't really fault them for that. But yeah, that was So basically with this sale, like if we can't really give too much because we don't know anything, but Vince McMahon is in charge. He's basically because I think during the interview he said he's in the he's going to be in creative, but he's not going to be in the weeds of things, whatever the fuck that means. I'm guessing because apparently there was an internal email that was dropped where they said Triple H or Paul Levesque will remain as WWE I guess executive. What was it? What is his title? He will be WWE's chief content executive, which includes creative. So he still gets input because let's be real, he's still married to Vince's daughter, and I'm pretty sure they eat dinner often. That's why, that's why I keep telling that notion. I'm like, bro, if anything sucks from here on out, we're not blaming Vince no more. We're blaming him until they officially say he's no longer in charge of creative, and then you can start by blaming Vince. That's all you can do. But Raw was just Raw. We're not finna harp on here no more. We already went longer than we wanted to. We just want to give our thoughts on that. If you haven't already, make sure you follow my boy Hi-Lite Real over at Hi-Lite Life on Twitter, Instagram, I believe Facebook as well, or is that as well?
Yeah. Facebook's more Hi-Lite Real if you want to hop over there. I think I did change, if they do handles over there for Facebook. I'm barely on Facebook like Gresh, so I mean, if you just look up Hi-Lite Real, you'll find me on there on Facebook if you want to follow on there as well.
But also make sure you support OTS Media and Life's a Botch podcast. That's what they are. That's where he is representing. And other than that, like, this is all our final thoughts on Raw. Is we ain't got nothing else. We ain't got nothing else. That's all we can say. Like, this was just it wasn't a bad show. It was just nothing progressed. And that's all you say. It was just literally just nothing was happening. It was like everything was just thrown to the
ain't that funny though? Finish the story. Okay.
And this is now the transition of that from finishing the story to get to the next story. I mean,
this is what it is. So,
but if you haven't already, make sure you scan that QR code to follow us on all social media platforms, solo.to/Gresh. And with that being said, we will be back. Did I have any house notes before we get up out of here officially? Yeah. In case you missed our previous post-show reviews, the NXT Stand and Deliver WrestleMania Goes Hollywood Saturday and Sunday are available now wherever you listen to your podcast, and subscribe to said podcast. We will be back on our regularly scheduled program this Thursday for a new episode of the Gresh Unleashed podcast with retro reviews, because I am done again. I need another break from talking about modern stuff on this show, but we will be back with retro reviews starting Thursday. We typically drop those early in the morning so you guys can have a full day to check those out. And other than that, with that being said, we're going to figure out everything that's going on. We figured out, okay, what's next was Cody Rhodes, Brock Lesnar. Raw after Mania was a show. WWE sold to Endeavor Group. You can't really talk too much on it. It's like you just got to wait and see. There's literally a whole wait and see game. Like, if it will it be the end of the world? For me, no, I don't give a shit. It's just wrestling at the end of the day. But with that being said, you guys stay safe out here in these streets. On behalf of Hi-Lite myself, make sure you guys stay safe. For real, stay safe. And remember to always eat, sleep, flex, and repeat. We out. Be breezy.